Hello again, everybody. Okay, we're still continuing our dialogue about the cane, and we're going to visit today, this beautiful spring day, before we wrap up here, with another element that's very important for the cane. Now, elsewhere we talk about this in other sections, in other videos. We call it the flow drill, and you could look at some of the other videos. If I remember, I'll put a link into it in the narrative below. That really breaks out the flow drill in great detail. But the flow drill works with short sticks, with middle sticks, it works empty-handed, and it also works beautifully with cane. So I want you to be aware of that possibility, and I want you to see that it works with cane so that you can cross this over into cane motion. So the flow drill looks something like this. She comes over the top, I block, I counter, she counters. And block, counter, block, counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And that's the layout of that pattern. Now, when we do that, this is the fixed sequence. We know what attack is coming with each count, and we know through what gateway each attack is coming. These, the defenses are also relatively fixed, but because it's a flow, and it's a dynamic flow, and you're able to move about, there is a lot of uncertainty in the call and response that's unfolding here that creates a high level of skills and instinctive responses to incoming attacks. It also teaches you to maintain control over the center line of the attacker. So, in slow motion, as she comes in, she's attacking to my head. And I do a sunrise block, and I also parry her arm to control it. My next target, and you can actually see this, each defense creates an opening. She comes over the top, and my opening is on her left side of the body. And as I do this, I look and I see that I have a direct hit here. So I come across, she blocks, and she's looking for an opening, and she has an opening here. So as she goes for that opening, I go down, and I look for my next opening, and my next opening is straight on in. Thrust through. She looks for an opening as she blocks and checks, and her opening here is to the right side of my head. And she goes in that direction, I check with the number 4 block, and go to the other side of my body. You can see how number 4 block is like building a wall here. And as I block, I check, and then I go over the top, because that's my opening. It's actually the only counter that I have that's immediate, and I take it. And then she goes to a sunrise block. Now, at this point, the pattern repeats. So, just so you see what happened here, we do the first half of the pattern. She comes over the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just hold that thought. Now, I'm going to take the roll that she had a second ago, and I'm going to come back with number 1. She does number 2, I do number 3, she does number 4, and I do number 5. Now, the pattern repeats again. She comes over the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We reverse rolls, and I attack back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So here's what's happening. It's a 10-step sequence. There's 5 attacks, blocks, and counters initiated by one person, and then the roles reverse, and then the other person initiates the same 5 backwards, or in the same sequence, but in the same thread, but making the total 10 instead of just 5. Again, the entire drill or the entire sequence is she attacks me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to continue counting now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 altogether. Now, I'm going to do one more run through this very slow, so if you wanted to copy this and just to see if you can build this motion within yourself, you'd have a chance to do that. So in slow motion, 1, she comes over the top, and I sunrise block. Okay. 2 is I do a cross body strike. 3, she comes underneath. 4, I thrust. 5, she goes to the side of my leg. Now number 1, she does a sunrise block, comes across, I block, deflect. Number 2, I attack to the ribs. She goes down. Number 3 is she thrust, I block. Number 4 is I attack the right side of her head. And number 5, she goes over the top. The flow drill is huge in the martial arts in terms of going just from static motion to memorized motion to flowing motion and then becoming improvisational. So you tie this together with the 5 striking moves and then some of the other strikes and concepts we talked about previously, and you're well on the road to improvisation. If 3 people were surrounding you, and just say somebody attacks, okay? It gets through any attack you want. I'm here, I hit, somebody else attacks. And then they attack, hit, somebody else attacks. Hit, somebody else attacks. Hit, somebody else attacks. Hit. Now I'm basically doing the flow drill in a 3-point position. I'm in the middle of multiple attackers. They're attacking me, basically doing whatever they want, and I'm employing the exact same concepts, but because I'm able to flow now, I can do it while I'm stepping and moving, even dealing with the uncertainty of what they're doing, because I've learned how to see that energy of the strike coming in and through what gate it's coming in, and I know how to shut down that gate. That's an important thing in the martial arts. That will establish your defense and ensure your safety. So work with those ideas as you experiment in your own dojo. Take care.